Agile is simple, right? Agile is fast. If you are fast with a team, you must be synced. Are you ready? So today we are starting our first learning session. So this is basically about Agile, and you can see here there is a slash after Agile. There is a smart. Basically, if you search in Google, it will say what is the meaning of Agile. Quickly moving, messy. The player messy, moving quickly. So Agile means moving quickly. So another synonym is smart, or you can write slash quick. So this is Agile smart approach for customer success. So in business, everything is oriented with customer success. So there is no benefit of being smart or something if you cannot bring the customer success. End of the day. So it means something. So if you can bring the customer success. So Agile is nothing without customer success. The definition is incomplete without customer success. So Agile is for customer success, or you can say customer satisfaction. So let's see, go next please. So what is the history behind this? In 90s and even last decade earlier till 2005 maybe. So it was like most popular methodology of delivering things were waterfall. This waterfall approach of delivery. What was that? It was like I am giving you a requirement specification, designs, everything to the software development company or the development firm, and then they are developing it for maybe 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and end of the day they will give the delivery. And then customer will see that, and most of the time what happened, it was like, what is this? So I asked for a maybe a cow, I'm getting an elephant. I asked for a dog, I'm getting a cat. So that was the situations happening most of the time. It was the experience 2 decades ago, because everyone is using the waterfall approach. Waterfall approach is you have to finish everything, then deliver. So that was the case. Can you understand that? Yeah. Why the need was, why the thing was that customer satisfaction was not there. There was no customer success. You were giving all the effort, system analyst, design, developer, all the people of P-sales analyst, everybody is working. They got all the requirements from the customer. They are developing it for 6 months, no communication with the customer. Because customer has given all the communications. Now the whole, like a black box you are developing. After 6 months, everything is done. They are going to the customer. Customer saying, I'm not asking for this. Total surprise. So where it gone wrong, all people were so much, surprised on how we can fix this. To fix this, so people had come with some, next please, some idea. They have come up with some ideas. So that's the thing. What should be the idea? What is the idea? So that was the approach. Basically, this is this quick approach. So you do something. This time there is not much documentation of requirement specifications, all the DFDs, ERDs, all these things, all documentations done. Then you go to development. Then you do testing. It's not like that. It's like that you do a small milestone, small deliverables, go to the customer, they see it, they check it, they say, okay, it's okay, or maybe 50% or 60% is okay, 40% is not okay. So give a feedback. Then again you come back to development, you do some development, then again you give a update. So what is happening here? What's the difference between two parts? What was the difference between the earlier one and this one? Yeah, absolutely. So that was the problem. There was no regular communication. It was like after a long time you are getting touched with the customer on that specific task. So that's the problem was happening in waterfall model. here they found a solution. No, we shouldn't do like that. Let's make it iterative. Small chunk of task we will do. We'll go to the customer. They will say, okay, sounds is fine. Let's fix something. It's 60% we see, we like it, but 40% you need to adjust this and that. So they are coming back again, then fixing those things, then coming back. So this way, there is no long lagging. And there is small chunks of development and quick feedbacks. This quick is get a name. This is agile. This is quick satisfactions. They are not excited. They are not, waiting for these updates for a long time. There is no dissatisfactions. In short time, you are catching him and updating him again and again. So you are getting satisfaction. And we know this is happening most of the time. If you want to work with the clients, I'm opening this, there is a long distance. So, if you keep regular communications with the customers, it's easy for them because they get the update and they stay in a calm position. They don't get that much agitated or excited. So that's the trick, basically, nothing else. This is agile. If you go to the history, it was until 2002 or 2001, maybe the experience was of the whole industry, the waterfall experience, or there was another model called V model. So that was the experience. They were suffering for that. But on that, they have renovated a way. We won't do like this. We'll do this iterative way for a small chunk, and they gave it a name, and the name they call it agile. Quick. So let's now go next. Now, what is the problem in the present? The agile, if agile is there, everything is fine, then what is the problem? Okay, we have adopted agile. Now, why customers are not satisfied? Now, still why customer is saying? So, there is a problem still now then. So, you see, what is coming for the customer, requirements or stories. Then I put it willingly this question mark to think, and then getting a wrong updates. So fill in the blanks. What could happen? Yeah. Yes.
এখানে আমরা এই যে কুইক বলছি স্মার্ট বলছি এটা কিসের জন্য মানে কাস্টমার সাকসেসের জন্য মানে কি এটা কাস্টমার সার্ভিস দিচ্ছি সেটার জন্য হলো কুইক স্মার্ট সফটওয়্যার ডেভেলপ করতে এই জন্য কুইক স্মার্ট আমি যারা শুনছি লিসেন না তাদের কাছে বলছি
ওকে
ইউনিয়ন ডেলিভারির জন্য আসলে ওটা সফটওয়্যার হতে পারে বা অন্য যে কোনো কিছু হতে পারে প্রপার সার্ভিস দিতে পারে আমরা আর কেউ
যেটা বললাম সার্ভিস ডেলিভারি করা যদি প্রজেক্ট ম্যানেজমেন্ট করা কাজটা নামানোর একটা কুইক স্মার্ট
Excellent. Yeah, we are on the same page. That's good. Yeah, I'm basically meaning this. Any delivery, so that can be a construction firm also. So that doesn't matter. But what happens when you don't, customers can't see the end outputs and block it for a long time, and end of the time you are showing that to them, they will feel like, okay, what is happening is not what I'm wanting. So there is why it's happening, we'll get it closer. But now my question is, now we are not that old model, waterfall model, we are becoming smart, we are now doing it iterative, short span, quick response. But still why this customer is not satisfied? What is the problem here? What was the in earlier step, if you see? Yeah, sure. This is for you.
Requirements ভালোভাবে না বোঝা পদ্ধতি
হইতে পারে না। Anyone else? Brief can be clear. They have said everything clear.
Understanding the
requirement change.
Understanding, yeah. What?
Continuous requirement change.
Continuous requirement change is coming. It's a continuous requirement change. But what is here? What you are saying? Understanding.
Understanding the assignment.
Understanding the assignment. He is absolutely correct. Go to the next slide. So problem is assumptions. He said understanding. Why understanding is getting wrong? Because what is happening, this is from practical experience. When I'm saying something, I need this button, this UI, this functionality. People in their brain, normally developers and the construction, whatever, they assume that from their preset mind. Okay, he is asking this save button. Okay, see this, okay, I understand. So the detail specification, whatever, maybe it's written or maybe he is scheming, not reading properly. Somewhere he is not getting specific. He is creating his own assumption. The developer who will deliver, he is doing assumption. When assumption is what? Assuming. There is assuming term. Don't make ass out of you and me. Yeah? By assuming. Don't assume. Be clear. So most of the problem is happening for only this term. When someone is describing me the story or someone has written the story, there always can be a gap. Who is writing it? Maybe he has written in a way he is thinking, okay, I have written everything. Maybe he has or she has skipped something. So when you are reading it, you are not getting that basically. You understood something else. He said save, so it will be saved. There will be no notification of save. So you have not given the notification. The user is watching that and saying, I saved it, but it's not showing me the successful saved successfully. Why haven't you given the saved successfully message? Oh, you have not said that. So you assume that, but the customer was expecting the saved successfully message. So the developer assumed that. So it needs to be clarified properly that I need this message. So you have to be clear. So if you assume, it will happen, you will give the wrong updates. So what is the way to not assume? Get more clarity. So ask question. Thing is, you are not asking the question. So for not asking the question, you are doing the assumption. And you are doing the assumptions, and end of the day you are delivering wrong. This is the problem. Go next. So agile is okay without assumption. So that's the thing. Yeah. Please go a bit. Yeah. So that's assumption. How it can be clarified? I just described it by understanding the stories, right? So this is the main thing. So in agile, where you have to focus. You got all the problem. Why is happening? It's happening for assumption. Why the assumption is happening in stories? The requirement is not specified. So if this is not specified, so the whole management, whole team, where should we put more power, more our knowledge, more our time in writing the stories properly and making clear that everyone is properly on that same page. Everybody got understood that. So that's the thing. So in this word, in agile, this is the central point of everything. All troubles, all miscommunications. So if there is no proper story doesn't mean you said something in your verbally or something like that. It must be written. These are the requirements. These are the stories. It must be written. It must be clarified, discussed, written by several people. Maybe it is discoursed. People are saying why this, why that. So it should be a team diagnosis sort of thing for in each story. So nothing goes left. It should be cleared. So the time, most of the time we should put in agile, specifying these stories. Most of the time we are experts. We know, if we understand, we know how to deliver. But when the story is ambiguous, things goes wrong. So whatever agile you are doing, how much expert you are, if you don't know in your team practically to make the stories properly, it's pre-sales, it's development, whatever. What happens in pre-sales? Pre-sales, agile is most important to make these stories. This is called product backlog. We call product stories. So when you go to a client, they will give a story. I need these things. So she is saying or he is saying a story. So normally if they are not that smart, they will not write that. But most of the cases they will write that. In that cases, they write in briefly. They don't elaborate that. So our task is, as a pre-sales guy, as a technology sales guy, to sit down there, engage people or engage them and write it more elaborately. Ask them question. Did you mean it that this is that, this is this? So elaborating his terms or her terms more elaborately and making a vivid picture so they can deliver it to the development team. So that part normally pre-sales very important. If it goes wrong, everything goes wrong. Okay, next. Now, understanding by whom. I said you have to understand the stories, right? So that's the most important part. It may look to you a bit, is it something, is it the, but I'm saying from my all my years experience, sounds so silly, but all pains I saw happening because of those stories only. Nothing else. Everyone I found expert, they are doing very good, they have skills to implement, but they understood wrong. In 2 weeks, he is giving something, but giving something wrong. But in 5 hours work, he is giving something wrong. Because when he has taken the task, he has understood something wrong. This is the majority, 80% problem I found in my life, working all the developments. Now the problem is understanding by whom. So what happens normally when there is a big team, when someone is going to the client, understanding the requirement, writing the stories, maybe coming back to the team, and he thought like I have written something like the best writer ever, story writer I am ever, I have written something everyone should understand. So he thinks, okay, fine, no need to explain it anymore. So he passes it to someone, okay, do it. And that guy who is reading that context, he is not understanding basically. Or maybe 80% or maybe 70% understood. And he is assuming that he is doing something, then he is doing wrong. So what is the problem? Understanding by whom? What do you think? It should be one person only developer?
Team.
For everyone? Everything, every issue? Every story?
Of course.
Every story? Of course, everyone? Do you agree with him?
Yeah.
Who?
I do.
Anyone else agree with him? Everyone? Every story? Of the same team who is delivering that. Maybe there is a 5 people team, they are creating a purchase requisition. Working the purchase requisition. Purchase requisition has maybe 10 stories. What do you think? 10 stories should be understood by all 5 peoples? Anybody saying no? Anybody against it? Then you are right. Go next. So look, the problem is what is team? I know you will give the answer. This team should understand. But what is team? The team is the most complex thing in the world. Okay. Because why? You have different skills. Someone thinks I am better, he is lesser. Education is different. Someone master, someone bachelor. Different style, he works in a way, she works another way. Different culture, different motive, different perspective, different ages, roles, religions, values, capabilities. So it's not supposed to be a same level in a team. Never. I have never found that. In a team, there are different levels of people working together for same thing, maybe, but they have different things. How you manage a team? How it becomes a team? What do you think? Why a team is a team? One word or one phrase. Why a team is a team?
They perform the same function.
They perform the same function.
Function বলতে যে they have the same deliverability. মানে তাদের একটা জিনিস ডেলিভার করতে হবে।
Same objective.
Right. Same goal or objective.
Same goal or objective. Everyone agree? নাহলে otherwise team হবে না. It won't be a team, right? It won't be a team. Okay, go next. I think you agreed with me. I have the same purpose. So that's the nice word, okay? The purpose is same. Everyone's purpose is same. Maybe everyone is not delivering the same thing, but they have the same purpose. Overall, it should be delivered to the customer satisfaction. Customer should be satisfied. We should earn the revenue. If this is a business, if not a business, family task, then something else. Social, then something else. But if you want to be a team, you must have the same objective, same purpose, right? Otherwise, you can't be a team. So this is the way you are making a team. So that's the thing we are doing. So what is the, go next. So what is the challenge then in team? I will relate that. Maybe you are getting why I'm going this way, but this is the main thing basically. Nothing else is there in Agile. What is the challenge? These all people you see, he thinks in a way, he thinks another way, he puts priority in something else, he puts priority on some different things. So they have all different parameters to think differently, not in the same page. So I found in my whole life, the most tough thing to sync people. To say in one word, yes. Like you are saying now, yes, same objective. Everyone is agreeing this way, bringing into same word, same sentence, a toughest thing to do. Agreeing on the same thing. The story's understanding is same. We should do this way. This is saying the same thing. So that's the main thing. What happened? I got a story from a customer. I gave it to someone, maybe the team lead. I said, okay, discuss with the team. I left it. And that team lead somehow just passed it by mail or something, or by the issue tracker to the developer, do it. He has not explained it. But when I was delivering, I said some key points because I know they will miss it. I written in the story, but to understand the story, I also added some key points. Look, do it that. If you read it, you will find this, there are the blockings, you will understand that way. But when he is delivering to the developer, he is skipping that part. He is just giving it to the developer by mail. He is opening the mail, he understood something different. What was the mistake? The first one, I did a mistake. I didn't discuss the story with the whole team. I passed it to the team lead. I thought, okay, done. Look, same team. He said, okay, no need to discuss with the whole team. He passed it to the developer, and here some water was falling. So when he got it, it was almost empty of knowledge. Something he is developing that has no merit basically. A customer is not going to get any satisfaction from that. So all the miscommunication is happening for some proper way to syncing, keeping all in same page of the team only, the team. There are some lagging. Someone is boss, he is not ready to discuss with everyone. Someone is so individual, egoistic, he doesn't want to discuss his work with the others. Someone is so secretive, he doesn't want to share something with others. You will see, these are the main, because there are 5 people team maximum or 6 people team in a software development. Normally you don't grow this way. There are maybe 20 developers, but 20 developers all are not working the same project. Normally in a project or in a deliverable task, there are 5 to 6 people working. Now the interesting thing is, these 5 to 6 people are not synced. They are talking in 5 different languages. They have 5 different purposes of doing the same thing. And they have understanding of the same thing, 5 different understanding. This is the problem which Agile is trying to address. Can I make you understand what is the problem? Yeah. So everyone can do things, but if you want to do this quick one, in quick movement, like when Messi is running, he's from the midfield, someone is on the goal post, right? He has a sync, right? He's going this way, but he knows someone will be there, he kicks it, but for a fraction of a moment, that other part is not synced. He's missing the goal, right? Right. And it should be so fast, because you are quick. So to be quick, what is the most important capability you need in a team? Highly synced. Highly synced. If you are for a little bit time, you are not synced, you are going to miss it. Think about the athletics. Like the rally running in a sprint, that the 2 party is not synced, they are one passing the rod or something like that. If they cannot catch it timely, everything just for a fraction of a second, they are losing it. So teammates, 5 or 6 teammates, keeping these 6 teammates on the same page, I found my whole life very, very hard. So how this is possible? How you can do this? there is some, first of all, you need good intention for that we want to be on the same page all the time, the full team. There is no politics, there is no egoism, no other things, bossing or things. Team is team, we should be synced all properly. So let's see the last slide. So this is the last one. Okay, how to solve? Okay, that's I was asking the question. Okay, how to solve? Do you have any idea? Do you understand the problem? Keeping everyone in the same page is a very complex task. A team. Do you have any idea how to solve this?
সবসময় একটা মিটিং এ বসতে হবে কনসার্ন করে
Yeah, of course, yeah. Go on. Try.
প্রতিদিনই ধরেন একটা সেশন করতে হবে যে কোনো একটা সময় আমরা এটা করতে যাইতেছি আমরা কত দূর আগাইছি
Anyone else? Any ideas?
Project trackers. I think that's the best way.
Collaboration, you are saying like that everyone can collaborate in the place.
Collaboration tools, যেহেতু we are a digital generation, we are the millennials, we don't believe in doing meetings and wasting time behind that. So I think there should be, like আমরা যেভাবে করি, there is a generic tool যেটার মধ্যে there are some tasks. পুরো টিম জেনে যায় যে এই প্রজেক্টের এই কাজ হচ্ছে, এই হয়েছে, এই হতে হবে। A snapshot একটা সেকশন বলে
আমার মনে হয় যে শুধুমাত্র একটা টুল বা একটা কোনো সলিউশন দ্বারা এই প্রবলেমটা
Do you agree the problem I am saying? This is the problem.
Of course,
Yeah, this is the problem. This is the only problem I say. This is the problem. Okay, other things is fine. This is the problem. Okay, so you are saying collaboration. You are saying
মানে আমি বলতে চাচ্ছি যে এখানে মাল্টিপল কিছু সলিউশন এক জায়গায় করতে হবে, যেমন হচ্ছে ইস্যু ট্র্যাকার একটা হতে পারে, মানে কোলাবোরেশন, একটা সফটওয়্যার ইউজ, আবার স্ট্যান্ড আপ মিটিং, মানে অনেক কিছু সমন্বয়ে কাজটা হবে সলভ
অনেক কিছু সমন্বয় করতে হবে. Good idea. So maybe you have any sequence of ideas what to do?
অলওয়েজ টাচে থাকা এবং আপডেট রাখা নিজেকে এবং
Yeah.
আপনি যে অ্যাসাইন করছেন তাকে প্লাস আমার নিচে যারা আন্ডারে কাজ করছে
Absolutely. টাচে থাকা একটা বিশাল পয়েন্ট, রেগুলারলি টাচে থাকা, বাট দ্যাট ইজ এ গুড স্মার্ট ওয়ে কোলাবোরেশনে থাকলে if everyone follows the collaboration part, then this is possible. Look, this solution I know every individual will give a bit different ways because this is not easy. So the agile team also found that. So this is not easy. So they try to bring a standard after researching, and they try to give you a way. So that's the way. Last slide I want to show you. That's I have already shared with others, team leads, but this is the thing, just a common thing. This is a cycle, you see, if you can see that. Team. Okay, the last one is team on the left side. Team. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so there is a cycle if you see. So a team will work for a project, right? The deliverable, whatever the project, he can have multiple projects, a team can have multiple projects, but normally the standard is a team will work for a project, right? So the project pre-sales guys will bring the product log. Normally they will bring all the requirements, what is the final output you want, what is the final criteria of satisfaction. Then there is so many discussions and other things that we call it release backlog, milestones, break it down, right? We break it down, then we make sprint backlogs, more sub modules, milestones, sub milestones, we make it. So normally what happens, this sprint backlog is for 2 weeks, maybe maximum 2 weeks or 4 weeks, but that is not a standard. 2 weeks for 10 days. So maybe 5 people is working for 10 days. Now look, this is a bigger picture. Product backlog. Problem is happening in this sprint backlog. Here I found most of the time, even in this small 10 days, for this small chunk of task, 5 people cannot collaborate. Why? This sprint backlog is forced by someone. This team is not selecting this. They don't know about this. They start work and they find a backlog. They don't know even about the sprint backlog. So they are not the definers of the sprint backlog. They have not discussed. So we call it this sprint log definer. So we do it by estimations, right? But we give normal estimations on product backlog.
I have a question.
Yes.
The flow chart that you showed right now.
Yeah, the product.
Backlog থেকে release backlog থেকে sprint backlog. What is the process here? When the pre-sales comes and figures out what is the product backlog. তারপর এখান থেকে release backlog পর্যন্ত যায় কেন? মানে কে নিয়ে যায় বা এটা আইডেন্টিফাই কেমনে হয়? The product backlog থেকে release backlog এটা যাবে। তারপর ওখান থেকে আইডেন্টিফাই কেমনে হয় যে কোন স্প্রিন্টে কোনটা যাবে?
These are something mostly done by customers and product owners who are engaged because they have some money time constraint. Okay, so it happens something like that. Mostly technical people less get engaged in there, maybe architect or maybe someone who is domain expert. So someone from the technical people, but not the whole team. You can't engage at the full primary level. That's not possible normally.
A lot of people are not technical. They might not know what sprint and backlog is. So if you could explain it, what do you mean by backlog and what do you mean by sprint?
Okay, so you can see this is stack, right? Stack of, if you think this is a task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, task 5. Okay, this way if you think like that. So the log is log, backlog is something that is not worked on. Due log. Backlog, a log of works that is not worked on yet. Yeah, you can think like that. Yeah, absolutely fine. So this is the backlog, basically all the stories we have seen there. All the stories, yeah. All the requirements, backlogs.
তারপর ওখান থেকে আর কি কাস্টমারের সাথে প্রোডাক্ট ওনার ডিসকাশন করে রিলিজ ব্যাকলগ বানাবে। এটা পসিবল, ফিজিবল। এরকম
ফিজিবল না। এটা হচ্ছে যে টাইম কনস্ট্রেইন্ট এবং রিসোর্স কনস্ট্রেইন্টের জন্য আমার ফার্স্ট 3 মান্থে আমি রিলিজ করব যেটা সেই রিলিজে এই ডেটা থাকবে, বাকিগুলো কিন্তু বাদ হচ্ছে না। আচ্ছা, যদি আমার মানি থাকে, যদি আমার রিসোর্স থাকে, তাহলে ইন ফিউচার কিন্তু এই প্রোডাক্ট ব্যাকলগ থেকে আমি ওটা আমার নিব।
Now this is the thing I'm saying, there is no preset rules for every project, for every constraint. There are some people who will work there, maybe not all the team people over here, but there are some decision maker. If you can engage everyone preset like this, they are working 5 years on the same project, so then you don't have to worry. You can engage everyone, you will have the knowledge. But when this new project is coming, normally you don't know, basically you have not prepared the whole team yet. So what happens normally, here is another team, maybe the pre-sales guy, the PO, the technical architect from the company who is going to take this project, maybe another team lead from the company, 2 or 3 software guys or developer guys and some business guys, they will have a team. So you need to do another discussion, sync everyone, give access to that team. The small team is working over here. They will discuss maybe for 2, 3, 4, 5 days and they will come up with this product log and backlog. So this is another part. So this is agile. This is the reason. And production agile and pre-sales agile, there is a separation. So you think from this part, this is a production development, to this part, basically it happens in the pre-sales. Always there is a team for pre-sales also. There is a team of customer, pre-sales guy, and there is a help of technical architect or someone. They together work together and they bring deliverable milestones, so they can deliver. So that is now breakdown to sprint backlog. So, but I say you one thing. If you say agile, normally there is no ideal case like that, but it happens. Fixed project, and in America it says fixed project and flex project. The flex project is basically we call agile project, where I don't know basically that maybe there is a 3 months delivery time, but there is a flexibility, it can grow more. That is agile basically. And fixed is, I don't know, you increase your resource or whatever needed, you have to deliver it in 3 months. So there are 2 ways of go. So what we are talking about is a flexible agile way, where we are coming up here with that, but the team will slowly decide and it will go on in iterative way. But of course there is an assumption on they will do the release backlog and the product backlog, otherwise the financial teams, the business teams can't cooperate with the market when they will deliver that, when is the release. So if you want to be market oriented, they have to have some deadlines, the timelines. So those things will be done here, then it will come in the sprint backlog. So I have shared 2 links with Lusana. If she can share, maybe there is a pre-sales related, and in that pre-sales related agile, I will share you the link later also. You will see the main part is also that story writing. That part we have shown, the story writing. That is the complex part challenge for the pre-sales team to deriving the proper stories. And in development, the challenge I showed here is syncing. So there are 2 challenges I showed you, right? And the first, the assumption, understanding the client requirements. If this is a big company you're delivering, the most complex part, first one is understanding the story. It also happens later on, but first understanding the story done by the pre-sales guys. They are going to collaborate that, who are facing the customers, maybe the product owners, who is taking the product ownership. So they will understand the stories, and then the stories understanding comes by. Then it happens syncing. Are we all understanding properly or not? So that happens from this sprint backlog. So it starts from here, whatever we are saying, how to do it, how to sync everyone. It happens that we will determine this sprint backlog all together. From here, the dev team, not from here, the dev team, all 5 or 6 people along with the PO, if required the pre-sales, if required the client, whatever suitable for that specific project, you have to start designing the sprint backlog. This is from here. So we play normally a scrum poker on the very first day to design the sprint board. We call designing the sprint backlog is basically like the sprint board. We do a scrum poker. So we have 5 people in the team. So and there is maybe 10 stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 stories. So we will throw the story, one story, first story on the board. There is a board of 5 people. They have some points, estimation points, like 8 hours, 4 hours, 16 hours, 12 hours, this sort of cards, poker cards. Okay. So I am throwing on the board the story first. Now everyone from that board will throw, understanding the story, his estimation. Like Elmai, he is thinking, okay, it will take 8 days, 8 hours. Maybe Shumon, you are thinking it will be 12 hours. So we will pick that times for the specific story. By this way, every one of the team is understanding the story, and there is a scope to ask questions. You can ask questions, clarify it more to give the time, because you want to estimate, you have to understand that. So that scrum poker or whatever you call it, that scrum meeting, first scrum meeting will give you the clarification of this backlog, which is going to be for 2 weeks. And by that time will come up and it will automatically add up 2 weeks. There's so much stories by priority. There will be priority 1, 2, 3. So maybe in 5, it's already 2 weeks for that 5 people. So that will be the sprint log, and everyone has understood the story. They ask the question. And now what will happen if you don't ask the correct question? If you assume, you will do the wrong, you will give wrong estimations. If there is a high deviation of the poker cards, like someone is asking 2 hours and someone is giving 2 days, so then there should be a debate. What do you think? Why you are thinking this way, only 2 hours, and why you are thinking this is 16 hours? So there should be a debate, there should be a discussion. So this is where the backlog got sealed, and we call it a sprint. Let's start. For 2 weeks we will start. Then every day when the sprint is started, when the sprint backlog is fixed and we have a due date to deliver 2 weeks from the starting day, then there is a daily stand up every day. The main purpose is 5 to 15 minutes, something like that. The main purpose is anyone who is taken issues from that. Over here already that collaboration tool came, right? if you understood. Because these things, how you collaborate? You collaborate it normally when there was no issue taken, normally we used to do in the wall. A board, create a board so everyone can see that and move the issue, who is taking which issue. But now the board is in your laptop, you can pick the issues from the collaboration tool. So every day, if someone has taken an issue from that board and doing that, we have to find out if anyone is blocked for anything, or in my capacity, or in this office, or in my team, other people has any capacity that can help. That we normally call it Scrum Master, someone. But it something like you can play it yourself, or someone maybe from the business side who is our maybe pre-sales guy, or who is facing the customer, someone who understands more better the product, he can lead it. So anything blocking that is not possible, it should go to the customer feedback. We can't do it, or we can do it, or maybe there's a technical issue, you have to engage some architect or some other people, but he should not be blocked. That's the help needed for that guy. There is a poor guy who is blocked somewhere, and if nobody is asking him why you are blocked here, then what is the company, what is the team? So that's the daily task to find one, is anyone getting behind or not? Who is getting behind? Find out that guy. Ask, are you getting behind? Are you locked anywhere? Are you not understanding anything? Where is your problem? Where you are feeling frustrating? Why you are frustrated? So these sort of things we have to find out in daily. So if you do like that, so there will be less trouble, people will go ahead. You can find out some major blocking that is not possible. You can communicate the client instantly. This is not possible to deliver in this sprint. Early communication, then she or he knows that it's not coming. So they have to find out another solution for that. Technically, this is not possible. What you can do? This is not possible. So this way you will go ahead. Then there is a weekly review. What is the purpose of doing the weekly review? Main purpose of this agile, doing these things, whoever is expert of what, let him do that. Don't interrupt. So less meeting, only 10 to 15 minutes in a day it should be spent on a meeting. Rest of the time he should work what he knows, coding or system Linux, or maybe something proposal creation, or maybe client communication, whatever his task is, he should focus. Weekly, the thing is, you have taken 5 tasks, 5 stories from here, thought it should be done in 2 weeks. In daily stand-up, you found some blockings that you are not expecting. Discoveries happening every day. We found in our daily life, discovery happens every day. So when discovery happens and you are fixing these blockings and going ahead, you will see you can do only 3 stories you can finish. Last 2 stories you cannot finish 100%. You cannot do it properly. So there was 2 weeks sprint. In a week you found that okay, it's not possible in 2 weeks to finish all the 5 stories. In 2 weeks we can finish only 3 stories, 3 requirements. So you should immediately contact the client and lock it. Look, I have committed by the sprint that I'm going to give you these 5 stories, but what I'm seeing now, but because there will be proper logics, right? Why you are not doing excuses, basically. There are proper reasons. This is why I cannot give the 5, I can give only 3. So you have to communicate that. This is we call time boxing or scope adjusting. So this is the only way, if you want to catch the train in the proper time of 2 weeks, there is only way to adjust is scope. So now the sprint is becoming of 3 stories. Got it? So this is called time boxing. So I have to communicate client or manage it anyway, because this is not possible. Don't push it, don't force it. It's not possible. You have logically found that we can't do the 5 stories. We can do only 3 stories. It's logically proven. So just communicate with the client. Maybe we can adjust it in the next sprint, because the next iteration is coming. We may increase people, do whatever. But this is now whatever the situation is, we have to adjust the scope. Okay? So this is the purpose of the weekly review. So in weekly meeting, we have to find out, are we meeting the timeline? Let's say one question, are we going to fail to meet the deadline or not? If we are going to fail, then what we should have to cut? How much we have to minimize? The scope. That's it, okay? Then after the weekly sprint review, we will find out why we had to do, what was the mistake in daily standing in this Scrum poker. We'll find some problems because why we had to adjust. We can't deliver properly. So there was some lagging, some mistakes happening. Those mistakes we have to note down. This is called retrospective. Small meeting with the team and others. It could be also half an hour after the end of the sprint, something like that. And then we have to adjust. Now, Raisul, as you are asking, is this way to keep everyone synced?
Yeah.
This is the solution of the problem or not?
Complete source from it. To sync everyone.
So, what is the first problem?
Understanding the stories.
Understanding the stories properly was the first problem. Why this happens? Assumptions, assuming. So we have to find out in our circle or anywhere someone is assuming, you have to make some practices. Block him, poke him, mock him, whatever. Don't let him assume. If you see anyone is assuming, make a practice in our culture. If you see anyone is assuming, make some stunt or something like that, that he remembers it and he doesn't do that assuming thing. In your life, make it a practice. Never assume things. Because assumption makes a very critical problem. Don't assume things. Get clear. Okay? So assumption, make it a practice in our culture that in customer dealing, we won't assume. We make it clear. Okay? And then the last one was, what is the problem? Synchronization. Syncing the team. And the syncing the team problem solution we are giving. So if we first one, if we don't assume what is the final output? The stories, perfect stories, and that perfect stories or near perfect stories, and then making those stories in daily basis understood by everyone. How it can be done? By daily stand up, by weekly review, and then by retrospective. It's weekly process, daily process, weekly process. But it doesn't mean anything. End of the day, if you don't help with the blockings, if you keep the blockings in blockings, remain the blockings, if you don't deal the blockings, if you don't adjust the scoping, if you don't improve, these are all meaningless, just show off. These are just show off. It must deal with the blockings. You must have this scope adjusting client communication weekly. We are not capable to deliver something, or we are delivering this thing in timely, and find out what was the mistake. So that's agile. There is nothing rocket science or something like that. It's just you are moving fast. Agile means you are moving fast. You are engaging customer too much. So it must be all sync. No double communication. I mean, same thing, you are saying something, someone other is saying something different. It should not happen anyway. It must always be the same communication, and it should have a pattern. It should be well synced. This is the reason. Agile is simple, right? Agile is fast. If you are fast with the team, you must be synced.